So in this second stage of the video, I'm going to paint the house here, but using inks. I'm going to use pen with sepia ink in it, then I'm going to use coloured inks to build it up. The great thing about a pen is that you can get into the details of a building really easily. So I'm just drawing over the pencil lines, picking up on the detail. And the ink in this pen is a semi-soluble sepia ink. That means that I will wet it and it will, some of it will stay behind, some of it will flow. Now I'm working this on a vertical, which is a little bit awkward, so I may, only for doing some of the strokes, so I may just adjust it and bring it back to this position from time to time. Let's just get the main shapes in, and this is just in my sketchbook, so forgive the middle of the page here, but it still serves the purpose. So let's just draw along. So I'm just using the main lines here to draw it. Now, if you want to do this exercise and you don't want any of your sepia ink to flow outwards into where the sky is going to be, I suggest that you don't do any lines on the outside of the house yet. What you can do is paint your sky before this stage. So that's just my suggestion. I'm going to live dangerously here. My plan is to draw fairly freely and to try and capture. I like ink because it's a dynamic medium. I'm going to draw freely with it, and then if it flows here and there, well, so be it. Let's see what we can get with it. I mean, when you use these art pens, this is I'm just checking. I think it's my extra fine nib. Yes, these are it's the thinnest nib. It means that you know, I can pick out individual stones. For instance, in the other window here, you've got the stonework, and you can coins of the building. You can hint at it. So another thing you can do with these pens is if you use them the wrong way up with a nib, the wrong way up, you get an even thinner line. So if you want to put in some really fine details, you can use the pen upside down. So let's just see if we can get these windows looking more interesting. And I will probably rub away the pencil marks when I've done this. I'm going to use my pencil to help me get the ink into place. And then as that dries, I will rub out the pencil lines. Just going to tilt my pad so I can put it at an angle here. Hopefully you can still see it, just so I can get into these windows with my pen at a more comfortable angle. I couldn't get the windowsill here. No, I was being forced into the wrong angle. Right, that helps. Do a bit more information up here underneath the gutter. And I'm not going to actually paint or draw into the glazing bars here. I'm going to, we've also got sash windows. I'm going to indicate the open window because we've got some dark in here, and I'll just shade in with some pen because you'll see what happens when I put the brush on that in a minute. I can hint at the glazing bars here, maybe with the upside down there, just hint at them, but I don't want to put too much in. I'm going to do something later for those that will put the glazing bars back in. So let's just get the rest of this sketched into place. I'm not, again, with my technique here, I'm drawing very freely. I like the sort of looseness of the nib, just working freely here. I'm not going to get all the lines, you know, absolutely lined up. Now in this window, this bottom window here, there's some strong contrast inside the window, if you like. The window panes are very dark, so I'm just going to put some, and the sash is sort of half open here. So the pen is very good at getting right into small details like this. So you can see in some areas I'm going to pick out these window panes. Some areas I'm not going to. In the paler ones I'm not going to. So I really just want to show you 2 or 3 techniques that will enable you to try them all out, see what works best. They're all techniques that you can use. Mix them up together and use them all the time. So here we go. This is the, well, it's actually the front door of the house. Front of the house. The drive goes into the back door. The front door goes into the little garden with a gate in the wall that we can't see from this angle. All very pretty. So we're nearly there. Just this top window, middle window. And the other thing I love about drawing houses with a bit of light on like this, when you go to the windows, every single window and every window pane is different. We're getting darks here, we're getting reflected light from the sky and the window here. We're getting, even on the shadow side of the wall, we're actually getting the sky colours reflected. So we're getting very different images in every window. And don't just do them all the same, pick out those differences. So that's picking up the house. I'm just going to tilt the pad again to sketch this window in very lightly. I'm not going to do too much of that. And again, this little side window. Now, when you've got a sash window, well, all sashes, but when you've got a sash window at an angle, what you'll notice is, actually I didn't do it on this top one, is that the top sash is set out from the bottom sash. So it's 2 or 3 inches further out. What that means is when you draw the window bars, the glazing bars, when you're at an angle to the house, they don't line up. So for example, this window here, the vertical glazing bars, if you look at your photo, do not line up between the top and the bottom sash. So if you line them up, you lose an opportunity to show the depth of the window frame. So I'm just going to put some darks into this one. And the bottom one, the bottom one I'm doing with dark, but the top sash is reflecting the sky. So that sash I'm going to do in a different way to the bottom sash. So let's carry on. Put the different features in. We've got lots of flowers in shadow, etc. We've got the figures over here. Again, actually figures are, let's just hint at that with a pen. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just picking out the main shapes. I'm not doing so much of an outline. I'm just trying to get the sort of movement. There's a T-shirt has got diagonals through it, for example. So I'm drawing that. I'm not worried about the overall outline shape. That will be revealed as I paint the colours of the hedgerow behind. One shoe that's got a nice dark shadow in it, drawing a shadow. The other shoe is flat on the drive, so not. So just little things I'm picking out. And also there's the dog here. Sorry, the collie. Walking perfectly, as always, to heel. And there's a 5-bar gate here. And again, I'm not really worried about all the information in every sort of detail. So it's just mainly indicating it. What I will do is just, before we go into the wash technique, I'm just going to pick out some of the wool down here. You've got some nice strong stones, and so I'm just drawing the dark shadows between them, and I might come back and reinforce that later with other work, brushwork, etc. So we're nearly done. We're really ready for the main event, if you like. And there's a little vertical stone at the entrance to the drive here. And I could, it's up to you. There's some really nice little tangles of different things growing here. Well, it's up to you to decide whether they're weeds or flowers. But the point is, there's interesting shapes, and you could actually make it much more decorative and pick those out, as well. Totally up to you. So I'm not going to be too fussed about that. But if I start to rub out this line in, so I started up at the top to get my rub out. Let's rub out the pencil line, and what you've got left behind, not sure it's all totally dry here, but you get the idea, is a very fine line. So I won't rub them all out yet because I think some of the lines lower down are still a bit possibly wet. But it cleans it up a bit. So we've got that chimney pot not showing up so well and all the top of this chimney stack, so just completing those lines I missed out. Right, we are ready to go into stage 2 with colour. So I'll stop the video here. Next one is colour.